Hello, I'm Steve Shaw, National Coordinator of Football Officials and Secretary Rules Editor for the NCAA. And today we're continuing our series of media videos for 2024, and we're going to be focused on game action from Week 1. Now, Week 1 was our first big stress test with our technology, namely our coach-to-player communications and our tablets on the sideline. And overall, the technology worked very well. We had a couple of outlier games, but the conference's work really paid off in delivering solid technology. And we're going to be monitoring this technology and our rule changes, the 2-minute timeout, for example, how that impacts the flow of the game and the play counts in our game. And so through Week 0 and Week 1, and I know we've got a long way to go in the season, but plays per game in FBS were actually down about half a play per game. Our game time average was 3 hours and 16 minutes, and that's down about 1 minute from last year. But scoring was up over 2 points per game higher versus 2023. We'll continue to look at this and our targeting numbers. Our targeting in Week 1 was very high, but that follows a trend that we've seen the last 3 years, where in Week 1, that's our highest targeting fouls enforced for the entire season, and the number begins to settle down. But we'll keep an eye on all of these figures. But most importantly, the interest in the game is very high, the viewership remains very strong, and that's all good for the game. So with that, let's get on into our plays. Our first play this week, we're snapping at the 6 going in. The quarterback's flushed out of the pocket. He gets outside the tackle box and he throws the ball away, but there's no receiver in the area. But since there's no question the quarterback is outside the tackle box, we know that he just needs to get the ball across the neutral zone, and it would not be a foul for intentional grounding, even if there's no receiver in the area. So initially, the referee puts the marker down for intentional grounding, judging that the ball did not cross the neutral zone. As we go back and take a look, the ball crosses the boundary, and it's very tight as to if it's beyond or behind the neutral zone. But the rule states it is not grounding if the passer is or has been outside the tackle box and throws the ball so it crosses or lands beyond the neutral zone, or, and the key words here, the neutral zone extended. And clearly, as we follow the ball in flight here, it goes beyond the neutral zone extended. So the quarterback meets the requirements to avoid grounding, being outside the tackle box and getting the ball beyond the neutral zone. So the referee stops the game, discusses with the crew, and is going to make the correction that there's no foul here for intentional grounding. Play 2, we're late in the game, and we've got a big 4th and 1 situation. The quarterback takes the snap, rolls right, finally decides to run for the first down. Now, he's going to be marked short of the line to gain, but we see multiple flags come down, and we're going to get an announcement from our referee.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, late hit, with targeting. Number 7, defense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct foul, defense, number 7. Both penalties will be enforced. The ruling on field targeting is under further review.
As noted here, since both fouls are dead ball fouls, both will be enforced, but we must first deal with the targeting. And as you can see from the replay, even though the quarterback is defenseless, our best view shows the defender's head is down but misses the head or neck area of the runner, and the right arm of the tackler goes into the shoulder of the quarterback. Now, the quarterback's helmet is joggled loose when it hits the ground, but this is a good job of removing the targeting. But the late hit and unsportsmanlike conduct by the defense will still be penalized. But here's the key. When the quarterback was ruled down short of the line to gain, the offensive series is over. And even though we will enforce the 2 15-yard penalties against the defense, it will be the defense's team's ball, 1st and 10, 30 yards back, and will not extend the drive of the offense. Once the series is over for the offense, it will be the defense's ball regardless of dead ball fouls. Play 3 is a 2-play vignette on targeting with the crown of the helmet. Now, the first play, we're late in the game, the quarterback scrambles, completes a pass to his receiver, and there's a big hit by the defender. And as we go back and take a look at the replays, and we receive many questions on this play, it is suspect targeting. The receiver has transitioned to a runner, so the only type targeting we can have is targeting with the crown of the helmet. And remember, for it to be a crown of the helmet hit, it must be contact with the top of the helmet And within the 6-inch radius of the top or apex of the helmet is the crown. And this is questionable as to crown. And as we look at the end zone view, it appears that the contact is with the forehead and not the crown, but clearly there's doubt if it's a crown of the helmet hit. And remember, in replay, unless you can absolutely confirm all aspects of targeting, we overturn the call. There's no stands in targeting. If it would stand, we overturn it, and we don't want to disqualify players on marginal hits. So this play is not targeted. Now, as we look at play 2 of the vignette, we see it's a quick screen to the back. He turns upfield, and 0 of the defense delivers a hard hit. Now, there's no call on the field, but replay stops the game to evaluate the hit for targeting. And as we look at the replay, this is the type play that is clearly crown of the helmet. And replay creates targeting from the booth, and number 0 is disqualified for the game. Now, the runner was injured on the play, but this technique can be just as harmful to the tackler, and this is why we want this type action out of the game. Play 4, the offense is past midfield at the +40 with 4th and 15, and they're going to elect to punt. Now, the punt is very high. It lands midway into the end zone, but we see 2 flags down, one from our back judge and one from our side judge. As we go back and take a look at the receiver's formation, we see that the deep receiver is number 0. And then as we look from the end zone behind the receivers, we see that an up back is also wearing number 0. By rule, no 2 players of the same team shall participate in the same down wearing identical numbers. And the penalty, if accepted, is enforced 5 yards from the previous spot. Now, since it was 4th and 15, this does not give the offense a first down, but it moves the ball forward 5 yards to the +35, and the offense now feels they're in field goal range, so they're going to line up to try field goal while snapping at the 35. Play 5, we're going to look at the opening kickoff of the second half, and we see that there's a big score from the first half, 52-3, but curiously, we see that the clock is set to 10 minutes. Now, we know by rule that the game is 60 minutes in length, divided into 4 15-minute periods. And even though the score here may be out of hand, there can be no modification to the timing rules, such as having a running clock. However, there is one option available by rule, and that is that the playing time of any remaining period or periods may be shortened by mutual agreement of the opposing head coaches and the referee. And this is precisely what happened here. Both the third and fourth quarters were played with normal timing rules, but were shortened from 15 minutes to 10 minutes each. Our last play this week, we see that the quarterback, he drops back, he's going to throw deep into the end zone, and the receiver makes a great catch for a touchdown. Now, our officials have not been overly technical on celebration issues, especially if a player celebrates with teammates, but this is about the limit allowed with dancing. But then we see number 2, he's going to direct a taunting action at an opponent, and there's no latitude for any taunting action. That is unsportsmanlike conduct. And also by rule, if a player simulates firing a weapon, it is an automatic unsportsmanlike conduct foul. And so this was a correct call and a needed call for unsportsmanlike conduct against number 2 of the offense. And this penalty may be enforced 15 yards on the extra point or on the succeeding kickoff at the option of the defense. Well, that's it for our plays this week, and we appreciate your time reviewing this video, and we welcome feedback, especially if there are areas you'd like to see reviewed in future videos. Best of luck to all in week 2.